Most people trying to build income after 40 make the same mistake. They pick one thing. They go all in on it. And when it doesn't produce enough on its own, they either push harder or abandon it. Let's slow that down. The problem isn't the income path they chose. It's that they expected one path to do everything. And one path rarely does. Think about how most financial planning works. You don't put everything into one stock. You don't rely on a single asset class. You diversify. Because diversification reduces pressure on any single piece. Now here's the question most people never ask about income. What if the same principle applied? What if instead of finding one income source that produces $1,500 per month, you built 3 smaller systems, each producing $400 to $600 that support each other? That's a very different approach. And for most adults over 40, it's a more realistic one. Because you're not dependent on any single thing working perfectly. You're building layers. And layers create stability. So in this video, we're going to walk through what I call the retirement income stack. A structured way to layer 3 small AI-powered income streams so they support each other and compound over time. Before we get into the stack, let's talk about why a single income stream creates problems. Not because it can't work, but because of what happens when it slows down. Let's slow this down. If your only income stream is a digital product and sales drop 1 month, your entire second income disappears. If your only stream is a service and you lose a client, you're back to zero. There's no buffer. No fallback. No momentum carrying you forward. Now compare that to a layered system. If your service income drops, your product sales continue. If your content slows, your service clients remain. Each layer covers the gaps in the others. And here's something most people don't consider. The 3 income types don't just protect each other. They actually feed each other. Your content builds the audience that finds your products. Your products build credibility that attracts service clients. Your service work gives you real-world insights that improve your content. It's not 3 separate things running in parallel. It's one system with 3 connected layers. And that's what makes it stable. So let's introduce the 3 layers. And I want to be very specific here, because the order matters. Layer 1 is the content layer. This is the foundation. Before you sell anything, before you offer any service, you build a small, consistent presence. Short content. One platform. One specific topic. Not to go viral. Not to build a massive audience. But to establish credibility with the right people. The content layer does something important. It warms up your audience before they ever encounter your offer. So when you eventually introduce a product or service, they already know who you are. They already trust your thinking. And the conversion becomes much easier. Let's slow this down. The content layer is not about immediate income. It's about building the foundation that makes everything else work better. Layer 2 is the service layer. This is where income starts quickly. While your content is building slowly in the background, your service creates immediate cash flow. You identify one simple, repeatable task a small business needs done. You build a straightforward AI-assisted workflow. And you deliver it consistently to a small number of clients. 3 to 5 clients at $200 to $400 per month. That's $600 to $2,000 monthly from a part-time effort. Now here's why the service layer matters beyond the income. Every client conversation teaches you something. What problems do they keep running into? What do they wish existed as a resource? What questions do they ask repeatedly? That information directly shapes Layer 3. Layer 3 is the product layer. This is where the system starts to compound. Using what you've learned from your content and your service work, you build a simple digital product. A guide, a template, a structured system. Something that solves a problem you've now seen firsthand. Priced at $19 to $47. And here's what makes this layer different from the other 2. It's asynchronous. Your content requires regular output. Your service requires regular delivery. But your product sells while you sleep. It's the layer that doesn't require your direct time every time it produces income. And when all three layers are running together, something important happens. The income becomes more stable than any single layer could be alone. Let's walk through this slowly. The real power of the stack isn't in any single layer. It's in how they connect. Your content attracts people who feel the problem you solve. Some of those people become service clients. Others buy your product. Others do both over time. Your service work gives you direct insight into what your audience struggles with. That insight improves your content. It also tells you exactly what your next product should be. Your product creates passive income that reduces the pressure on your service, which means you can be selective about your clients. Take on fewer, deliver better, charge more, and your growing product sales increase your credibility as a content creator, which brings in more of the right audience, which creates more potential clients and buyers. Let's slow that down. It's a loop. Each layer feeds the others. And over time, the whole system becomes more efficient. Not because you're doing more, but because the layers are working together. Let's make this concrete. Imagine someone named Margaret. She's 53, works in healthcare administration. Now she builds the stack. She starts with the content layer. Simple, practical content explaining common administrative challenges in small healthcare settings. Nothing complex. Just clear, useful insights shared consistently. Over a few months, a small audience forms. Practice managers, small clinic owners, healthcare administrators, people who recognize exactly what she's describing. Now she introduces the service layer. She offers a simple AI-assisted workflow for handling patient communication and appointment follow-up. Priced at $350 per month. She starts with 3 clients. That's $1,050 per month from the service alone. But here's what those 3 clients teach her. Every single one of them struggles with the same thing: staff onboarding documentation. The process of getting new staff up to speed is slow, inconsistent, and frustrating. So Margaret builds the product layer. A staff onboarding template system for small medical practices. Priced at $39. Now let's look at the full stack. Content layer, building trust and attracting the right audience. Service layer, $1,050 per month from 3 clients. Product layer, 20 sales per month at $39. That's $780. Combined, just under $1,900 per month. Let's slow this down. Not from one thing working perfectly. From 3 modest layers working together. And here's what changes over time. Her content keeps attracting new clients and buyers. Her service insights keep improving her product. Her product sales keep validating her credibility. The stack compounds. Not dramatically, but steadily. Now let's talk about how this actually unfolds. Because the stack doesn't come together overnight. And understanding the timeline helps you stay patient when progress feels slow. Months 1 through 3, you focus almost entirely on the content layer. One platform. One specific topic. Consistent output. You're not selling anything yet. You're building familiarity with the right people. Months 3 through 6, you introduce the service layer. You identify one simple service. You build one repeatable workflow. You reach out to 5 to 10 potential clients. Your goal is 2 to 3 clients by month 6. That's between $400 and $1,200 per month in early service income. Months 6 through 9, you build the product layer. Using everything you've learned from your content and your clients, you create your first simple digital product. Launch it quietly to your existing audience first. Get feedback. Improve. Then make it more broadly available. By month 9 to 12, all 3 layers are active. None of them is massive. But together, they're producing meaningful, stable income. And unlike a single income stream, if one layer slows down, the others keep moving. Let me be clear about what this requires. Building 3 layers takes longer than building 1. The first few months will feel slow. You'll be creating content without immediate results, building a service without clients yet, planning a product without sales. That's normal. Let's slow this down. You're not building three separate things. You're building one system in stages. And the patience you invest in the early stages pays off in the stability you get later. Because most people who try to build income after 40 fail for one reason. They quit before the system has time to compound. They measure results too early. They expect income before trust is built. They abandon the content layer because it feels slow. But the content layer is what makes everything else work better. So instead of measuring success by how much each layer is producing in month 2, measure it by whether the system is moving. Is the content going out consistently? Are you reaching out to potential service clients? Is the product taking shape? If yes, you're building. And building is exactly what leads to stability. So when you think about retirement income after 40, the question isn't just how much you need. It's how you structure what you build. Let's slow that down one final time. One income stream is fragile. 3 connected layers are stable. And stable is what you need at this stage. Not explosive growth. Not constant hustle. Just a system that keeps producing, even when one piece slows down. Content that builds trust. A service that creates immediate income. A product that compounds over time. Each layer supporting the others. Each cycle making the system stronger. So instead of asking, what's the one thing I should build? You might ask, what's the first layer I should start with today? Because that question leads to something more than income. It leads to a system. And a system is what changes the outcome.